Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from all over the world. And it's been a great pleasure presenting at this conference. This is my second time of presenting, and it's been a very memorable experience. And I'm happy to be here again this year or this time. So I'm presenting, my name is Angela Omogbeme from University of West Georgia. And my paper title is Financial Barriers to Tech Career Entry in Emerging Economies, a novel AI-assisted solution. But before I start, let me quickly say a small issue, a small experience I had just to illustrate this topic so that we could appreciate it more. My first career was, very challenging. It was very hard for me to get a job. Not because I didn't have the right skills. I had the right skill set, but I didn't have the right guidance. I didn't have like a structured kind of guidance or someone to put me through. So as a result of that, I wasn't really getting jobs, which was quite frustrating and challenging. So this problem is not just for me alone. A lot of job seekers face the same issue. They fail not because they lack the skills or the expertise. Most of them fail because they lack an affordable structured preparation. They juggle between different platforms, from LinkedIn to YouTube to different platforms, because they can't afford human coaching. And the AI coaching, it's not really reliable for them to learn. So as a result of this, talents are being lost. Why does this matter? This matters because it has a very major significant economic impact. We have millions of people emerging in income and they are excluded from tech roles. They have the right skill sets, but they are not getting the jobs. And there is a hiring disconnect also. Employers struggle to find qualified tech talent. That is, some people fail the interviews and they don't get the jobs. And people that get the jobs, for one reason or the other, they don't have the right skill set, but maybe they have the confidence or they have the right human coaching to enable them get the jobs. So there is inequality gap also. People who can afford coaching have a higher advantage than those who can't afford it. And as a result of this, there's missed opportunities because people who are supposed to have those jobs don't actually get them. The global market is massive and a lot of people going through the same problem. The total addressable market stands at 208 million globally. According to International Labour Organization, there are 208 million people unemployed right now, and another 250 million people in higher institutions of learning waiting to join the overcrowded job market. In the US alone, where I am presently, there's about 7.5 million people looking for jobs who are currently unemployed, and another 25 million people waiting to join the job market. So you can see it's a very serious situation globally and locally. Emerging economics challenge. There are so many challenges that we now face. There's growing demand for digital skills, yet there's limited access to quality preparation. People don't have the right access to quality preparation. They use generative tools like AI, which sometimes misguides them. They depend on different sources like Reddit, like Quora, like X, Twitter, Instagram to get their information, which sometimes might not even be right. Now there's infrastructure and resource gaps. Right, the right people don't get the right jobs. Meanwhile, there's global competition pressure because some people can afford this coaching, like in developed countries, but underdeveloped and developing countries can't afford or have access to this right kind of coaching. So when you put them on a global competition scale, there's a disadvantage on the part of those people who can't afford this coaching. So that is a very big challenge that affects the economies. What are the existing solutions that we have? We have the existing solutions, but they are all fragmented. We have fintech solutions, but they don't have career development. We have AI tools, like we have the chat GPT, we have Cloud AI, we have Gemini, but they are too generic. They are not customized to teach job seekers in a particular way that suits their needs. So as a result of this, they really don't pass their job interviews. Peer community exists, like LinkedIn, like Discord, they all exist, but they lack structure. They are so fragmented and some are even generalized. You have groups of people who have like this common interests, like LinkedIn, for instance. You have different groups of people there. It becomes difficult to search for a particular set of groups that have the same interest as you. Mentors exist, but not at scale. Human mentors are very expensive and unaffordable. So that becomes a problem. So these are the gaps. AI tools exist, but there's no financial access models or human intervention. There's no human to guide them through. Mentorship also exists, but it's not scalable. You'll agree with me that it's very expensive having human mentorship, and this has been a great challenge. Peer community exists, but there's no structured intelligence. We don't have a particular class of people who would say, okay, maybe these are the early career professionals from 0 to 2 years old, all looking for the same job, having the same common interests. We really have that kind of community. So I decided to build an integrated ecosystem combining all so that we have a mix of AI, human mentorship, and peer communities. So I took a step in the right direction based on that foundation and the problem we are trying to solve to develop a new framework, a novel framework, and it's known as the afield network. It talks about AI precision layer. So this model comes in different layers. The first layer is the AI precision layer, whereby a job seeker is trained based on AI. It's a 24/7 system that trains the job seeker on how to be smart. But still, there are some things that the AI cannot perform. That's when the human mentorship comes in, like internal networking, getting to meet recruiters, real life experiences, insider information, organizational challenges. That's where the human mentorship layer comes in. Then the peer networking is more precise. Like you have the group of people with similar interests looking for the same job, the same role, all working together. Then the fintech affordability. So this makes it more affordable than a human networking system because this is all integrated to solve these problems for job seekers. So this is what the CGI engine looks like, and this is proprietary and what other people have not been able to solve. It's known as a confidence growth index. So let's take a look at it like a Fitbit that measures the steps you take every day. It gives you a progressive report on a daily basis so that you know where you stand on the chart. On a daily basis, you look at the chart and you know where you stand. Maybe your confidence is low, or your delivery, or your clarity. So it's like a scale that measures you every day. It's an intelligent ecosystem. So from this graph, you can see that the pace is low. This user received low scores on pace, and that is what they have to work on. So the user will work on this pace and watch the progressive report based on the feedback from the AI. So this is how the engine works. The user inputs their voice, tone, pace, and confidence, and the behavior, like the filler words, how consistent the user has spoken, how confident is measured based on the input. And when it goes into this engine, it is processing the core layers. The AI models processes this information, scores the communication quality and the readiness of this candidate for job interview. Then it gives its output on the CGI model. It tells the readiness score, how ready the job seeker is from 0 to 100. 0 means the job seeker is not ready. 100 means very high readiness. So it measures the confidence, the clarity, the tone, everything, the delivery, and personalizes the improvements and recommendations that this user has gone. So this is the CGI engine I was able to build for this project to solve this situation. And why is CGI uniquely powerful? From what we have seen, we can see that CGI has multi-layers communication intelligence. It goes from one layer to the other. It prepares job seekers Then they have adaptive learning pathways. It is not just generic. It trains people based on customized feedback from each user. And it has an integrated ecosystem that integrates all of this together and is scalable and more affordable. These are the expected outcomes. After using this model, it's expected to create unmet needs for the job seekers and to reduce their cost barriers, because most of the challenges the job seekers have is the issue of cost. They can't really afford the cost of doing a human tutoring program. And this will also be able to scale access for emerging economics and accelerate social mobility so that job seekers are ready and confident. And how does this align with the theme we're talking about today? The theme speaks about globalization, entrepreneurship, and emerging economics. For globalization, this newly defined framework will enable job seekers in emerging economies to compete in the global digital workforce. And that will remove the financial and structural barriers, because right now it's very difficult for developing countries, for job seekers in developing countries to compete with their peers in developed countries who have access to all of this. So this framework is built to adjust that gap, to fill that gap of structural and financial barriers that we have in the global digital workforce. Entrepreneurship. This is a new entrepreneurship innovation developed by me. It is scalable and it's also technologically driven solution. It transforms how individuals prepare for global tech roles. Emerging economics focus. This framework targets challenges in countries like Africa, Asia, and other countries that are just developing, because it offers affordable, structured, and hybrid career preparation. And for the economic empowerment, by reducing this preparation costs and increasing access, this model enhances income mobility. It also supports youth employment and strengthens their participation in emerging markets. So in conclusion, the problem, in conclusion, the problem is millions of talented individuals, they face emerging economics problem because they have financial and structural barriers to entering these tech roles to compete with their peers globally. And this is my contribution, the afield framework, the CGEEE engine, which I have designed, and it's a novel and AI-assisted affordable solution that creates a pathway to structured career preparation. So this is the impact it is expected to have to unlock global workforce participation and entrepreneurship opportunities too, so that skills will be developed at scale. Thank you very much for listening.